Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Harlem Roscoe crews respond to a pair of fires. The conditions forced 2 firefighters to seek medical attention.
Record low inventory in Rockford can make searching for a home a nightmare. One couple shares their years-long struggle to find the perfect property.
And if you're looking to adopt a new furry friend, now may be the best time. A look at the low adoption fees coming to the Winnebago County Animal Shelter. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. We'll get to those stories in just a minute or two. First, as Candace mentioned, severe storms are moving through the area.
Let's head right back over to the Weather Center. And Candace, what's the latest?
Yeah, we've got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that we continue to keep our eye on here, mostly across parts of DeKalb County. New warning getting extended here as that warning I told you at the top of the hour being expired for northern DeKalb County. They've now just reissued that here for eastern portions of DeKalb County with the thunderstorm as it's moving through Genoa and just to the east here of Genoa. Eventually, this is going to cross over the DeKalb-Kane County line and then move into northern Kane County within the next 15-20 minutes or so. But it is for this particular storm here that's just to the east and southeast of Genoa. That new severe thunderstorm warning going until 5:30. So they did extend that, but as I mentioned, fairly soon the worst part of that storm is going to be moving out of DeKalb County and then into northern Kane County. So it will be moving out of the area. Biggest threat with this thunderstorm primarily going to be the stronger winds and hail with that. So if you are kind of in that southeast section of Genoa, kind of southeast of town, just a heads up, that's what you're experiencing, along with some very heavy rainfall and some frequent lightning too. Severe thunderstorm warning also for southern sections here of DeKalb County. We did have that for eastern Lee County, but the worst part of that storm is out of Lee County. So you guys are in the clear here. It did originate just north of Paw Paw with that potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well as quarter-sized hail. Starting to see a little bit of a decrease in some of the intensity of the storm as the worst part of this is right along and east here, Waterman, just along US 30. This storm is also moving to the east at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So these storms are not moving very fast. So that's why along with that wind and hail threat, we're also going to be dealing with some very heavy downpours. Right now, that is the only warning, or those only 2 warnings that we have in place. Things are just a little more quiet back off to the west. So once those storms move out of the area, that severe threat goes down. But we'll hold on to that here through about 7, 8 o'clock, at least for that severe threat. 8, 9 o'clock for just some showers and a few isolated thunderstorms until that cold front comes in. Things are going to start to quiet down then as we go through the overnight tonight and into tomorrow. A little more comfortable in the days to come, but there are some showers, at least some lighter ones in nature to kind of time out here, guys, as we go into the weekend. I'll have that weekend forecast for you coming up a little later.
All right, thanks, Candace. A woman is arrested in connection with a double murder in Rockford. Last Friday, a 14-year-old and 17-year-old were shot and killed on Willard Avenue. Winnebago County Sheriff's deputies arrested a 17-year-old boy the next day in their murders. Today, the sheriff's office says there was someone else involved. The state's attorney charged 18-year-old Liberty Powers. Powers is charged with felony obstruction of justice.
Rockford police investigate a shooting that took place this morning. Investigators say a young girl was shot on South Henrietta Avenue near Henrietta Park. A tweet from RPD says the girl is in stable condition. RPD also made a correction to a tweet from earlier today. Initially, the department's account released a statement there had been a shooting on South Johnston Street, but this morning at 10, a new tweet confirmed there was only one shooting overnight. That was the Henrietta incident.
Harlem Roscoe firefighters respond to a pair of blazes last night. Around 7:45, crews were called to a shed on Metric Road. The building belongs to a small business that was closed for the holiday. Harlem Roscoe called in several other departments to help. Firefighters were able to get it under control in about 50 minutes. While at that fire, Harlem Roscoe was called to a garage fire on Walthorn Drive. Everyone was able to get out of the house before firefighters got there, but the homeowners did lose a pet. 2 firefighters were treated on scene for heat exhaustion and overexertion. No word yet on the cause of either fire.
A Freeport man died after trying to get a remote-control boat out of a lake at a local state park. Stevenson County deputies were called to Lake Leequina State Park around noon yesterday. Witnesses told deputies the 65-year-old swam out to get the small boat, but he went under. First responders found Miles Patrick a short time later. He died at the hospital. The search for a missing Freeport girl is over. Police said this morning Madison Brown has been found safe. The 15-year-old was reported missing last Tuesday. It's not clear where the teenager was or where she was found, but Freeport police thanked the public for their help in finding Madison. If you're looking to buy in the Rockford housing market, experts say you need to be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, here in the State Line, homes are selling within days of being listed. Our Nicole Delgado talked with a family who's been searching for a house for years. Nicole?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. This family has been looking for a new home to fit their growing family for years. And when they finally found it, they had to act fast. Their house sold in just 7 days.
We looked at 50 homes in less than a 3-month span. 22 homes in a 3-week period.
Mo Ayers and Brennan Hatamaki spent 6 years in the hopes of finding their dream home. The couple plans on moving Mo's mother from Atlanta, and that required some special requests.
We were looking for specific houses, that were wheelchair accessible. First floor bedroom, and also first floor laundry and amenities for her as well, so she could get around. So it made it a little bit more difficult for us.
Realtor Bob Schofield says the market changes constantly, but what we are seeing is a scarce amount of homes.
I think a part of it has to do with sellers would like to sell, but they haven't identified a home to buy. It's the same for them. There's a low inventory, so even if they want to move up in the market, there's no homes available, so they don't want to put their home on the market and it sells and they have nowhere to go.
And in just the last few years, interest rates went from 3 to 7%.
In Winnebago, Boone County, about 200 or 225 homes and condos on the market, but a seller's market, and there's a lot of people looking to buy, even though the interest rates are rather high.
While Mo and Brennan finally found a home that meets all of their needs, they advise other buyers to be ready for anything.
You'll never find a perfect home. Find one that's very close and has a lot of the check boxes checked, and then you'll make it your own and make it perfect.
Realtors say that the key to success in this market is to talk to a mortgage lender and to get pre-approved before even looking. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Nicole. A Rockford Farmers Market is once again taking donations to feed those in need. This year marks 20 years for Plant a Row for the Hungry. The goal is to connect gardeners with local food pantries. Master gardeners at the University of Illinois will collect produce from 6 locations throughout Winnebago County. The extension director for the university says this program is a great way to bring people together.
This is a wonderful way to bring the community together to support our food pantries, and the reality is our food pantries, yes, they are looking for shelf-stable products to make available, but they're also very welcoming of fresh fruits and vegetables because everyone benefits from being able to eat fresh fruits and vegetables.
The program goes through mid-October. If you'd like to help out, you can donate money or food at Edgebrook Farmers Market every week.
Winnebago County Animal Services is at critical capacity, so the agency is hosting an Empty the Shelter to find the dogs and cats their new homes. Starting tomorrow, adoption fees will be discounted. It will cost $5 for adult cats, $10 for dogs, and $25 for kittens. Right now, Animal Services has more than 90 dogs and 90 cats in the building.
So we still have a normal adoption process. People still have to be approved to adopt through an adoption application where that is vetted. We make sure the animals in the home are currently vaccinated. There's no previous history on the account that raises a red flag. So it's still the normal adoption process. We recommend doing an application in ahead of time and then stopping in and even getting your pre-approval card before the event.
Adoptions include a wellness exam, spay or neuter, microchip, vaccinations, 1-year preventatives and shots. The event is through a partnership with the Bissell Foundation.
Some Americans are forced to cancel their trips because they don't have their passports.
Coming up, the State Department blames an issue many businesses continue to have post-pandemic.
Coming up at 6, UPS has less than a month before union contracts expire. The potential strike that could affect the Rockford area.
Keeping an eye on a couple of thunderstorms that are moving through parts of DeKalb County. Find out if we have any additional severe weather to deal with after a hot and steamy day today. That is all coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Lever, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
The Secret Service confirms a powdery substance found in the White House is cocaine.
Secret Service agents found a small amount of the substance in a common work area in the West Wing Sunday night. The White House was briefly evacuated while emergency crews did rapid tests. President Biden and his family were at Camp David at the time. Secret Service is investigating how the substance entered the White House. Post-COVID travel is causing a massive backup for Americans trying to get or renew their passports.
The State Department's been getting 500,000 applications each week. Department administrators blame the backlog on staffing shortages. Many travelers say they didn't get their passport in time and had to cancel trips. Others are buying plane tickets to pick up their in-process passport out of state, then continuing on to vacation.
Severe thunderstorms are rolling through parts of the state line.
When we come back, Candace will have the details on the rain we may see and the cooler temperatures as we get closer to the weekend.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Showers, thunderstorms continue to move across parts of the region here late this afternoon and evening. We have had a few isolated severe thunderstorm warnings, ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings now for portions of DeKalb County, stretching from northeastern DeKalb County down through southeastern DeKalb County and then Kane County too, which is out of the area. So the worst of the weather continues to kind of move to the east of us, but there are still some additional showers and a few thunderstorms that we will continue to see here throughout this evening, and we'll still hold on to that isolated severe threat through about 7-8 o'clock until that cold front comes in. But that one severe thunderstorm warning we have now until 5:30. This is for the storm that is just to the east here of Genoa, right along 72. This will continue to move to the east. It's not moving very fast, so some very heavy rainfall now moving into Kane County. Within the next 15-20 minutes, that storm will be out of northeast DeKalb County. Also keeping an eye on the thunderstorm through southern DeKalb County. This one is one that started north of Paw Paw and then worked along US 30 here in southern DeKalb County from Shavana out to Waterman. Broke up just a little bit, more of a broken line of thunderstorms as that continues to move into southern Kane County here this evening. Again, that warning also goes until 5:30. Now we have had some reports of some not only stronger wind gusts but also some wind damage out to the west and southwest here of Elizabeth with some thunderstorms that formed earlier this afternoon. This was in Joe Daviess County. Also a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust recorded with the line of thunderstorms as it moved through northern DeKalb County, this near Clare, which is right along 64. We've also had a report of a tree that had fallen down on East Stevenson Street and Illinois 75 there. That's east of downtown Rockford, so Freeport, excuse me, there in Stevenson County. So on the eastern portion there of Freeport there in Stevenson County. So far, those are the only reports that we have had as far as any damage is concerned. But these thunderstorms really kind of fired up. There wasn't a lot of wind in the upper part of the atmosphere to really sustain widespread severe weather, but that's why we had more isolated in nature, posing that hail risk. And then as the hail core kind of weakened and dropped a little bit, then it turned more into a wind threat. But it's really muggy out there, so these have been very efficient at producing some pretty significant rainfall, and that threat will continue here even though we don't see much of a severe threat after about 7-8 o'clock tonight. We are still going to see some additional showers and thunderstorms that could hold on through about 9 o'clock tonight. After that, and I think really after midnight, things turn a little more quiet. We'll see a return of sunshine. Won't be quite as muggy as what it was today. It was humid out there as those dew point temperatures got into the lower 70s for a lot of us, and still rather muggy out there. So it will take a little time before we see some of that muggy feel kind of work out. Thursday night into Friday, we are down into the 50s, so very comfortable for the start of Friday. We'll see sunshine. Cloud cover comes back in. Weak system passing to the south of us. That could bring us a shower or two Friday night and then going into the day on Saturday. We take a live look with our SkyTrack camera out here in Rochelle, looking off to the northwest. Still some lingering rain showers coming down. I mentioned those dew point temperatures, not really seeing much of a relief from the rainfall. Those numbers still in the upper 60s and low 70s, so it does still feel muggy out there. We're 63 for tonight, up to 80 for tomorrow. Same thing there on Friday, Saturday, 82 on Sunday, and then I think, guys, we've got the mid-80s returning by the time we get into next week.
Still relatively comfortable, no 90s. Thanks, Candace.
Scott's in next with sports.
White Sox slugger Luis Robert is becoming a shining light in another disappointing season for the Sox.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
The Cubs have their 3-game losing streak off their backs. Tonight they'll try to stack back-to-back wins together in Milwaukee. They won yesterday 7-6 in 11 innings, thanks to Ian Happ throwing out a pair of Brewers at home plate in extra innings. Tonight the Cubs will send All-Star Justin Steele up against Adrian Hauser. Steele will be going for his 10th win. The Cubs currently trail the Brewers by 6 games in the NL Central. It is the Reds who lead the division now by 1 game over the Brewers. The White Sox are set to host the Blue Jays tonight, weather permitting. Lance Lynn takes the baseball tonight. The White Sox lost last night 4-3 despite Luis Robert Jr. smacking his 25th home run. That ties him for the 3rd most in Major League Baseball. Pedro Grafal says Robert has arrived as a major star.
He's always had power. We've been talking about this for a long, long time. If he swings at strikes, balls are going to go a long way, and he's swinging at strikes. He's having some really good at-bats. He's taking really good pitches. This is who he is. This is not like, oh, he's on a hot streak or anything like that. This is who he is.
The Rivets will host the Kenosha Kingfish again tonight, weather permitting, that is. And Saturday's the day when the Rivets will be bringing in former Major League slugger Jose Canseco to Rockford. He'll be an honorary coach for them Saturday night. And Saturday morning, he'll take part in a home run contest called the Rock River Showdown. He'll launch balls from Prairie Street Brewing downtown, trying to get them across the Rock River. Tonight at 9 and 10, I'll give you a look back at Canseco's career.
Make an early
PGA Tour makes its annual stop in Illinois this week for the John Deere Classic. Round 1 will be tomorrow in Silvis at the TPC Deer Run course. JT Poston is the defending champ. He led wire to wire last year. Cameron Young, Denny McCarty, and Adam Hadwin are some of the favorites this week. Novak Djokovic has won his 2nd-round match at Wimbledon. He had to work for it. He got by Jordan Thompson 6-3, 7-6, 7-5. Djokovic is going for his 5th straight Wimbledon singles championship. Another match at Wimbledon was stopped briefly by protesters who ran onto the court throwing confetti and pieces of puzzles. They're part of the group Just Stop Oil. They oppose British oil and gas projects. That's sports. We'll be right back.
First Warning Interactive Radar has been a little more active here over the last several hours as we've had a few isolated severe thunderstorms roll across parts of the region. That severe thunderstorm warning for DeKalb County that is set to expire at 5:30 will continue to expire at 5:30 as that storm has weakened just a bit. We will continue to see a few isolated showers and a couple of thunderstorms just a little after sunset. 63 tonight, 80 tomorrow, mid-80s next week.
All right, thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.